This is for topic area 4, create a marketing mix to support a product. This is 4.3, types of advertising medium to attract and retain customers. Advertising is defined as the use of media to communicate with existing and potential customers to inform them of a product or service. It's important to get the right message across, make sure you get the right audience to see the message, and to use the correct type of media. It's vital to choose the best media for your intended audience. The business would choose between digital and non-digital methods, or use a combination of both. The methods that we need to know are non-digital, leaflets, newspapers, magazines, radio, posters, billboards and cinema. And for digital, social media, websites, online banners and pop-ups, SMS texts, podcasts, vlogs and blogs. A leaflet is a non-digital printed method containing information about the product or service which can be visually pleasing, portable and easy to distribute. The benefits are it's relatively cheap compared to others, it can cover a specific local geographical area, and it can provide detailed information. The drawbacks are there's a potential wasted product if people don't use it or throw it away. It's difficult to target specific customers, and also it can be sometimes seen as old-fashioned. Leaflets are a very versatile method that can be used for many different types of businesses. However, it's best used on a slightly older audience where they might not go out of the house much and you can post it into their house, or people that roam the high streets where you can give it out to them in person. Newspapers are a non-digital printed method where an advert is placed inside an existing publication. It's quite often used for local advertising. Small businesses are unlikely to use national newspapers because they're unlikely to want to reach a national audience, and it also costs a lot more money. Newspapers are good for reaching local people, and the reader can always refer back to the advert. There is often space for detailed information to be given. Disadvantage is many newspaper adverts end up in black and white, so there's a limited use of colour. The readers can also easily ignore adverts and turn the page and read the next story. There's also a limited audience, so the cost per reader can be quite high. People might also miss the adverts if they are deliberately trying to avoid them. Advertising in magazines is a non-digital, glossy printed advert in an existing publication, which can be expensive and needs to be done well in advance. Magazines are published regularly and cover specific interests. That means we can attract a very specific group of customers. For example, you could advertise some sort of flowers or gardening equipment in a gardening magazine. You could advertise fishing equipment in a fishing magazine, and so on. That means you can get and target specific audiences. Magazines are usually available nationally, so you can cover quite a large audience. The reader can continue to refer back to the advertisement, and you can also offer detailed information. The drawback is that many competing products might also be advertised in the same magazine. The worst drawback of using magazine advertising is that the space must be booked well in advance. Radio has audio adverts placed between programs receiving large audiences for what is generally known as unskippable advertising. It's known as unskippable because you can't fast forward or pause. The only thing that you could do is change the station, but many people tend to stick to the same one. Small businesses have access to a wide number of local radio stations, which means they can attract lots of different people. There's a range of stations to choose from. They can target a specific group of people by using a specific radio station. You can also use a local station for geographical targeting. Radio adverts also can't be skipped unless you change station. The drawback are that radio can't really have any sort of imagery, so some advertisements might be boring without the accompanying images. Radio can be expensive, and some listeners may completely ignore adverts or change the station. There's also the fact that some radio stations don't actually have adverts. Posters and billboards are very similar print-based advertising. They're non-digital and are basically a large printed advert, usually with imagery and small amounts of text. The benefits are they can be seen multiple times by the same person, which might leave a lasting message. They can be placed in many different places, and people are often looking for stimuli while travelling. The drawbacks are you could easily miss them if you were driving and concentrating on the road. You could get mixed up and lost amongst other posters, and you can't always contain a lot of information due to the size of the image. Cinema is a very long-lasting, traditional form of advertising. The adverts go before the movie trailers and before the actual film starts. The advertisements could be shown nationwide if you choose a large cinema chain like Odeon, and they're likely to be noticed a lot more because the audience are already there to face the screen. The benefits are you can choose many different cinemas, and you can often have adverts that are rather unavoidable if they're already in the cinema. The drawbacks are not many people actually go to the cinema regularly, and some people only go once a year, if that. Another drawback is they can't be kept because once the advert's gone off the screen, it's gone. Another drawback is many people turn up deliberately late to avoid the adverts, and it can often be very expensive. Social media is the first of our digital advertising methods. You can use different platforms to share posts about your products and service, and you can generally use it for free or as paid advertising. Examples of platforms could be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat, and more recently things like TikTok. The benefits are it encourages user interaction. In other words, when people are scrolling through, people are more likely to like and share the posts. There is a large audience worldwide and very accessible to a variety of different groups of people. It's very affordable as you can either control a budget or do it all for free. You can target specific users if you use paid advertising. Drawbacks are adverts can annoy the users. People generally scroll right past if they're not interested in adverts. It can be quite costly to do on a consistent basis, and you don't actually have control over what your adverts appear next to on the screen. A website is an absolutely vital piece of information for a business. It allows you to contain everything that you want to get across to your customers in one place. Website is a digital method accessed through a browser that informs the customers of the products they sell and can actually allow you to purchase online. So the benefits are you can reach a wide audience, it contains a lot of information, and you can increase sales at the same time. The drawbacks are customers obviously need an internet connection. There can be some security issues in terms of if you're holding people's login details and things like that, you need to make sure they're kept safe. And there are fees for hosting and updating a website. Online banners and pop-ups are digital advertising methods that rely on the internet for potential customers to see them. They're added to existing websites to advertise a business's products or services. The benefits are you can reach a wide audience and you can target users with particular interests with paid adverts on other sites. That means you can use other people's websites to get your adverts across. The drawbacks are some adverts can annoy users and some people have pop-up blockers so they won't see them at all. SMS texts are text messages sent to mobile phones. They're a digital advertising medium which are cheap for businesses to send out in bulk and can reach a large audience very quickly as they send instantly. The benefits are it can reach a wide audience, it's instant, they're very direct and difficult to miss by the user. The drawbacks are if they're uninvited text messages, they can annoy the user. There's very limited information in a text message, and there can be security issues if people think they are a virus or a spam message. Podcasts are a growing market where people often listen to them while traveling or relaxing at home. Adverts can be included in these podcasts similar to on the radio. The benefits are it can be fairly cheap as you only need to pay the podcast owner. You can also target listeners based on the podcast topic. Adverts can annoy users during the podcast and sometimes they might skip them if they've been downloaded. You can also only target the listeners of that specific podcast. A vlog and a blog are essentially online diaries. A blog is a written online diary and a vlog is a video version. They're digital methods of advertising which can be used for a variety of topics and purposes. A common method is to feature products in a vlog or to be sponsored by a brand. There are cheap method of advertising as you only pay the blog or vlog maker. You can see a very quick increase in sales when featured on a vlog. However, one drawback is that there's a short-lived method of advertising because once that vlog is old news and a new one has come out, people tend not to see the advert anymore. You've also got a very limited audience, only to the people that are making that vlog. Sometimes people might get annoyed with the adverts and just skip right through the video. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, send me an email and I'll get back to you.